Tonight's retro season review is going to be the 1979 St George Dragons side. Now, they finished the year as minor premiers. A bit of background on St George in the 70s. They won the 1977 premiership and they were called Bass Beebs because they were a very young side coached by the legendary Bath. 78 they missed the finals, which was a bit easier to do back in those days because it was a top 5 not a top 8. And in 1979 they finished as minor premiers under the coaching of Harry Bath. 22 games they played, 17 wins, 5 losses, points differential of 167 plus. It was the club's 14th minor premiership. The captain that year was Craig Young. The top point scorer for St George that year was George Grant. He got 211 points. And Mitch Brennan was the top try scorer for the club with 16 tries. He was the equal competition top try scorer along with one of the Manly players. The biggest crowd that they got for the year was 21,756 against Parramatta. And their average crowd for the year was 13,137. They also finished 2 points ahead of Parramatta, who come in second place. Going into that first match, they started the year off with a bang. They smashed Manly 34 points to 9 at Cogger Oval. And then for the first month or so of the year, they put together 2 wins and then lose a game. Put together another 2 wins and lose a game. But between round 9 and the grand final, they only lost twice. So it was a very dominant period for the club in that year. But as I said, back in those days, it was a top 5, not a top 8 like it is now. And they didn't play the first week of the finals. And they come back in the second week and they had to play against Parramatta, who come second. And that was a really tight game, but they come away with that, winning 15 points to 11, which meant that they jumped straight into the grand final itself. In the grand final, they played against the Calgary Bankstown side that had to play 3 matches to meet the grand final, so obviously they were a lot tired and they were also probably a lot more bruised than what St George were going into that grand final. At half time in the grand final, Canterbury were leading St George were leading 17 points to 2 at half time, and they looked like they were going to run away with it. And then in the second half, Canterbury come back and staged a bit of a fight back of their own, and the final score was 17 points to 13. And Canterbury as well had 2 tries disallowed in the game. Steve Slippery Morris, who's Brett and Josh's dad, he won the Dave Brown Medal, which is one of the awards that was given to the man of the match before the Clive Churchill was. And it was St George's 15th premiership in their history. So it capped off a great year for the club. Harry Bath, he won another premiership as a coach. He'd already won plenty as a player. And some of the other contributors to the year, you also had Steve Morris himself got 14 tries in the 1979 season. Brian Johnson got 12 tries. And you also had the likes of Steve Edge, Craig Young, Rocket Rod Reddy. They all played for the club in that year, so they had a very strong side. And it was a very good way to cap off the year with a premiership. Anyways, we hope you enjoyed that retro season review. Tonight it was the 1979 St George Dragons side. If you want me to do another retro season review or you have a suggestion of the retro season review you want me to do, let me know in the comment section below. If you have not yet subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. It greatly helps out as independent YouTuber. It's a tough graft out there to get likes and subscriptions, so your help is much appreciated. Anyways everyone, I'm going to get out of here and I'll catch us all in the next video. Alright, tatty bye now.